Picture this. You're sitting across from her at dinner. She's younger, beautiful, sharp, fully there on the outside. But something in her energy has gone quiet. You're talking, she's nodding, she's smiling at the right moments. And still, you can feel it. She's slipping just a little out of reach. Not physically, emotionally. The kind of distance that doesn't make a sound until it's already changed the room. And in your head, it's immediate. What just happened? Did I say too much? Do younger women only want excitement? Am I trying too hard? Why does it feel like the more I pursue, the less she leans in? Here's the truth most men never hear. Younger women are not pulled in most deeply by performance, status, or perfect lines. They are pulled in by a man whose presence makes her nervous system feel safe enough to soften and curious enough to stay. So no, you're not too old. And no, this is not about becoming someone else. You just may be missing the exact thing she is reading beneath the surface before her mind even has words for it. By the end of this video, you'll understand what actually creates attraction here, why most men get it backward, and what to do instead if you want her to feel drawn toward you in a way that's real. Let's get into it. Most couples, and honestly, most people dating, believe attraction is built by impressing someone, by saying the right thing, by proving your value, by keeping the energy high. But the real truth is that lasting attraction is rarely created by what you display. It's created by what another person feels in your company. That matters even more when an older man is dating a younger woman. Because if you're not careful, you start leading with what you think should compensate. Money, experience, control, answers, certainty. But here's what nobody explains. Her nervous system is reading you before her mind can catch up. She is not only asking, is he successful? She is also asking, often unconsciously, can I relax around him? Can I be real here? Does his presence feel grounded, or does it feel like pressure? Most men miss that. Badly. What looks like attraction problems are often emotional tone problems. What looks like loss of chemistry is often loss of safety. And what looks like a younger woman wanting a bad boy is sometimes just her being more responsive to aliveness, emotional presence, and authenticity than to polished control. Not more flexing. Not better tactics. Not trying to sound younger. But becoming more emotionally available, more present, and less performative. That's the shift. That's what changes everything. Stop performing. Start revealing. Most couples never notice how much of their connection is being suffocated by performance. Most men in this dynamic think attraction grows when they appear unshakable, always in control, always impressive. But the deeper truth is that a woman feels closest not when a man acts flawless, but when she feels he is real without collapsing into neediness. There's a huge difference there. A younger woman often isn't searching for a perfect older man. She's searching for congruence. Someone whose outside matches his inside. Someone whose confidence has room for softness. Because when a man is constantly managing how he is perceived, she feels managed too. And even if she can't explain it, something in her says, I still don't know who he really is. Here's the disconnecting version. She says, you don't have to impress me all the time. And he laughs it off with, I'm just built different, sweetheart. The connecting version sounds like this. Honestly, I think I got used to believing I always had to prove myself. I'm trying to unlearn that. Her brain quietly registers, he actually let me see him. And when you do that, the walls between you start to come down, without either of you having to force a thing. Give her presence, not pressure. Here's the part no one talks about. Most couples think pursuit means intensity. More texting, more plans, more compliments, more pushing the moment forward. But the deeper emotional truth is that pressure and presence feel completely different in a woman's body, even when the words sound similar. Pressure says, come closer so I can feel secure. Presence says, I'm here, and you're free to come closer. That difference is everything, bro. A lot of older men accidentally create pressure because they fear drift. They've lived more. They know what they want. They don't want to waste time. Fair enough. But when that urgency leaks into the emotional field, she feels observed instead of met. She feels like she's stepping into a role rather than a connection, and her nervous system starts to brace. The disconnecting version is, Why are you taking so long to figure out what you want? The connecting version is, I like being with you. I'm not here to rush what needs room. One makes her shrink. The other lets her turn toward you. What moves through her is, I don't have to defend my pace here. That's the shift that turns a relationship from a test she has to pass into a refuge she wants to return to. Lead with grounded energy, not control. And this is the one most couples never figure out. Most people confuse leadership with dominance. They think being the man means directing everything, deciding everything, correcting everything. But grounded energy is not control. It's steadiness. It's the ability to hold emotional weight without making the room smaller for the other person. That is deeply attractive, especially to a younger woman who may have dealt with men her age who are inconsistent, reactive, or emotionally absent. She's not only responding to age, she's responding to regulation. Your nervous system is like a weather pattern. If you bring storms every time something feels uncertain, she will become guarded. If you bring calm without becoming cold, she begins to trust the space between you. Not louder opinions, not tighter control, not a list of rules about how women work, but a man who can stay open, clear, and respectful even when he doesn't get immediate reassurance. The disconnecting version is, I'm older, I know how this goes, just listen to me. The connecting version is, I have experience, yeah, but I want to understand how you see it too. Suddenly, something in her says, he doesn't need to overpower me to feel like a man. And that's when your strength stops feeling intimidating and starts feeling like safety. Stay curious about her world. This is where it gets really interesting. Most couples drift when they stop being curious and start becoming familiar in a lazy way. They assume knowing a few facts about each other is the same as continuing to discover each other. It isn't. Familiarity without curiosity is how emotional distance forms like scar tissue, slowly, over 100 small moments that never got repaired. A younger woman does not want to feel like a projection. She does not want to be cast in the role of fun, youthful, or different from women my age. She wants to feel known. Actually known. She wants your attention, not your category. So ask better questions. Not interview questions, alive questions. Questions that reveal her interior world. What she's becoming, what she's outgrowing, what makes her feel most herself lately. Because when she feels your curiosity, she feels your presence. And presence is connection. The disconnecting version is, you're young, you'll figure it out. The connecting version is, what's been on your mind lately that you haven't said out loud? One flattens her, the other opens a door. Her inner voice becomes, he sees me as a whole person, not just a younger woman. And when she feels deeply seen, attraction stops being a spark you chase and starts becoming a bond you build. Make her feel safe to be complex. But here's what nobody explains. Most couples unconsciously reward the easy emotions and punish the inconvenient ones. The fun side gets attention, the uncertain side gets fixed, the emotional side gets minimized. And over time, one partner starts editing themselves just to keep the peace. That kills intimacy. A younger woman may be playful, spontaneous, light, but she is also layered. She has contradictions, she has patterns, she has old wounds, unspoken longing, and moments when she feels withdrawn and doesn't know why. If you only like her when she is easy, she will never feel safe enough to love you with her full heart. This isn't a communication hack. This is what emotionally mature people naturally do. They make room for the whole person. The disconnecting version is, why are you making this a big deal? The connecting version is, you don't have to package this neatly for me. I'm here. Take your time. Man, that changes everything. Because what she feels then is, I don't have to perform calm to stay connected. And that is how a relationship stops feeling conditional and starts feeling real. Let desire breathe. Here's the part most men get backward. Most people think attraction survives through constant access, constant texting, constant checking, constant reassurance. But desire needs connection, yes, and it also needs space. Not distance as punishment, space as oxygen. That matters a lot here. If an older man becomes overly available from fear, the energy starts to feel heavy. Not because caring is unattractive, but because anxiety, even when dressed as devotion, makes attraction work too hard. Your nervous system in those moments is like a smoke detector. It cannot tell the difference between slow replies and actual danger, so it sounds the alarm. And if you obey that alarm every time, you bring panic into something that needed patience. The disconnecting version is 10 follow-up texts and, you good? The connecting version is one clear message, then a return to your own life, to your mission, your peace, your self-respect. That silently tells her, I want connection, but I do not abandon myself to get it. And that's when she stops feeling responsible for regulating you and starts feeling drawn to your stability. Become the standard, don't sell the standard. And here's what changes everything. Most couples talk too much about what they want the relationship to be while living in ways that quietly erode it. Most men in this situation try to explain their value, but value that has to be sold rarely feels valuable. Embodied value does. A younger woman is not just listening to your words, she's watching your cycles, how you handle disappointment, how you speak about people who can do nothing for you, whether you repair after tension, whether your life has substance beneath the surface, whether your presence feels emotionally available or emotionally defended. This is not about playing hard to get, not about acting detached, not about becoming some cold, high-value caricature from the internet. It's about integrity, about becoming the kind of man whose behavior creates safety, whose attention creates connection, and whose honesty makes performance unnecessary. The disconnecting version is, you should be with me because I can offer more than guys your age. The connecting version is never needing to say that at all. She experiences it in your consistency, in your emotional steadiness, in how you turn toward conflict instead of disappearing into ego. And somewhere inside, she feels, I can trust what's happening here. That's when your age stops being the headline and your character becomes the magnet. So if you take anything from this, take this. Attraction is not created by trying to look more valuable than other men. It is created by becoming more real, more grounded, and more safe to connect with than most people ever learn to be. That is the deeper game. That is the mature game. And honestly, that is what makes a man unforgettable. This isn't a checklist. It's an invitation to show up differently, to stop chasing reactions and start building connection, to become the kind of partner whose presence lowers defenses, whose words match his energy, and whose love feels steady enough to trust. When you internalize this, you stop performing and start relating. You stop pushing and start turning toward. You stop trying to tempt her and start becoming the kind of man she naturally moves closer to. Real intimacy doesn't begin when you finally say the perfect thing. It begins when your presence feels so honest that she can finally be honest too. If this spoke to something real in you, stay with the channel. We go deep here, and we talk about the stuff most couples only realize when it's almost too late.